Hello everyone, Blackout or Nyx here. Call me whatever you want. Welcome back to another video. I'm so sorry if I sound really terrible and sick. Yeah, I feel really terrible and I am sick, so that is fun. Today I'm going to be doing something that I got really inspired to by a bunch of other people, which is redesigning My Little Pony characters. Little disclaimer, I'm not an avid My Little Pony watcher. I've watched a couple of episodes just for this video because I wanted to have something to talk about. But we're starting with Twilight, and ignore that first sketch. I really didn't know how I wanted to draw them here because I've never really drawn many horses before. So I decided, instead of doing something pretty realistic, which I do sometimes for my art, I went with something a bit more cartoony, which I really found was in line with the rest of my art, and it was inspired by the My Little Pony art. For Twilight, I really struggled with her bangs to get them to look how I wanted them to. They just ended up really looking, her hair in general, actually, they just kept looking really terrible. Now I'm on to the line art. So yeah, I did watch a couple episodes, which in the first episode, I felt like Twilight was such a jerk to Spike. Like, what the hell? Like, she was really rude to him, which definitely changes a bit later on because she ends up treating him later on, like a bit later on, like the next episode, like less of a pet or a servant and more of like her friend or someone she actually likes and doesn't just have to deal with. For her design, I tried originally to put some gold into her mane and tail, and I didn't really like it. I don't know, but I went with something pretty similar to her usual design, her normal design. I just made her part Arabian, part Appaloosa. I did base these mostly on real horse breeds. Next up is my favorite design of the bunch, Rarities. I always remember when I used to watch this show as a little kid, absolutely loving her. And this is another design that I did struggle with because I had no idea how to do her tail. Because I did want to keep I did want to keep the curliness. So I tried a couple different styles, looking up references in other people's redesigns. A couple of my designs were inspired by other creators. Like, I saw someone do a darker colored Rarity, and I did want to make her Frisian, at least like part Frisian. So I did make her a darker color, and I feel like she turned out really, really pretty. And I don't know, I just really like her design in general. I feel like in the show, her design is probably one of the better ones. Not saying that any of them are bad necessarily. I just feel like they're all very, very simple in the show, which hers is very simple. Twilight's is probably the most detailed, other than of the main six, other than like Celestia or Luna. Which, how do they animate Celestia's hair? That's crazy. Like, that must have taken forever to animate that, every little scene that she's in. But so I wanted to make her hoofs, like around her hoofs, her feet furry, and I did put some on her back to just kind of add some definition. And I did do a curl for her tail and for her mane. and I gave her her purple mane, which I actually did make it a bit more blue. I gave her white feet, a white tail, white ears, a white nose with a small little diamond on her forehead, and I did also put some white on her chest in a diamond shape. And I also did like tufts of hair on the back of her legs. She's my favorite. I did have her horn blue originally, but then I changed it to purple. But even though she's my favorite, I feel like I could have incorporated more blue, even though there is some, and I did try to make it more blue. I just feel like her cutie mark isn't very... I feel like it stands out a little too much, so that's the one thing I'd change. Next up is another one of my favorites of this batch, Applejack. I think she was my least favorite growing up, which, I don't know, like, I feel like she's a farmer, but I feel like, I don't know, I feel like they made her super stereotypical, because yeah, she's a farmer, wow, so she has to have a Western accent. But like, I don't really mind it, because I do like her accent. I think it's fun. I did make her a Clydesdale. I did see someone doing that, and I'm like, I just thought that would be a very, very cool idea. I shortened her tail too, to make it so that it wouldn't get in the way while she was working. I added her cutie mark, and I also added a red rim on her hat. I think the hat is my favorite part, honestly. Here is Rainbow Dash's design. Her design is, I don't know, I don't think I like it all that much. I don't know, I'm pretty indifferent with it. I don't hate it as much as my Twilight design, as much I do my Twilight design, but I feel like it's one of the weaker of the bunch. I'm only doing 4 of them today, so if you want a part 2, I will be doing Fluttershy, Pinkie Pie, Celestia, and Luna, most likely. And maybe I'll put like Spike in there too. I don't know. So I'm doing the line art. I gave her larger wings and a mohawk because Mohawk Rainbow Dash needs to be a thing, and I also gave her a long fluffy tail. I originally wanted to make her more red because we don't have a red character. We have 2 purple characters, but no red character, so I might make Pinkie Pie more, like a bit more red. But I did end up making her more blue. And I did actually base her off of a Raven horse, I think. I don't know. Raven horse? I don't know. But anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you like the designs. And if you want me to do more of this, please let me know. I'd be happy to do it. Anyway, bye.